Here's your AccuWeather forecast. Periods of clouds and sun, breezy afternoon showers, maybe a burst of snow, high 53. A couple of rain or snow showers around early this evening, then clearing and cold tonight, low 22. Sunny to partly cloudy for tomorrow, and the high 50. Friday, clouds and breezy, showers in the morning and afternoon thunderstorm, the high Friday 59. Get your weather news when and how you want it, wherever you are, AccuWeather.com. I'm Steve Williams for News Talk 1480 WHBC.
It's Kenny and JT.
We'll get you one day closer to another weekend here in the Hall of Fame City today at 3 on the Kenny and JT show.
Yeah, the owners' meetings are happening in Arizona for the NFL, right? Chris Easterling, Browns beat reporter for the Akron Beacon Journal, going to join us and recap what Jimmy Haslam had to say, Andrew Berry, as well as Kevin Stefanski.
Sprinkle the infield and give you the fact of the day on a Wednesday. Join us today at 3.
It's the Kenny and JT show, weekdays between 3 and 7 on WHBC.
Live from the WHBC Broadcast Center. Find out more about area businesses, agencies, and events.
It's what's going on right now.
This is Spotlight.
And welcome back to 1480 WHBC. It's a Wednesday, and that means Spotlight. And today we're going to have a great conversation. If you're an animal lover, this is an important thing for you to listen to. We're going to talk to the folks from AlterClinic Animal Care. And today we have with us a wonderful group of folks who are doing a great job at the AlterClinic. And we are happy to say we have Laura Groves, who is founder of AlterClinic Animal Care. We have Jennifer Conley, who's the practice manager, and also Dr. Kendra Nicholas, who is the veterinarian. And Toby Franks will be joining us also, a feral cat advocate and expert on TNR, which is trap, neuter, release. And I am so excited to have you guys today. Welcome.
Good morning. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So let's start out, Laura, let's start out with you because I want you to explain to folks how the AlterClinic came about.
Well, we started here in October of 2018. And it was basically, I was at a fork in the road in my life and, excuse me, and trying to decide what I wanted to do. And I did some research, and through some discovery, the idea of this clinic the seed was planted, and off we went.
So I'll ask you, you obviously had to be an animal lover, correct?
I did for forever, always.
She still is.
I still am.
Yeah. And that's the kind of thing I always say, if I win the lottery, I'm going to like rescue 1 billion cats, like everybody kind of laughs at me, but I just wanted to find a place and take care of them all. It's so hard to not want to do that. But so I give you a lot of credit making this, come true for yourself. And, so explain what AlterCare does.
Well, AlterClinic.
AlterClinic.
That's okay. AlterClinic is a low-cost and affordable spay-neuter clinic. So we spay cats and dogs, our pets. We also have the TNR program, which is for the cat that has no owner and maybe lives in your backyard. And we spay and neuter them in one day, and they come in at a certain time and go home later that same afternoon.
So how is it different from other, veterinary offices?
Well, we sort of focus on just spaying and neutering. We do have a wellness program as well. But your full service veterinarians will provide care for your sick or injured animals. We do not provide that type of care. Our goal is to just focus on spaying and neutering and helping to reduce that overpopulation of cats and dogs.
And I would imagine that you come across a lot of customers who are looking for an affordable way to take care of their animals, correct?
That is correct, yes.
Yeah, because it can be, it can be pretty daunting when you try to.
It can be, but with our nonprofit status, we're able to make, to trim the fat, we'll say. And the ASPCA had developed some protocols that allow us to be more efficient with our time, which allows us to do more numbers during the day and do it in an efficient way. And we can lower our costs by doing that.
Yeah, and obviously later on we'll talk more about the feral cats and all of that, because I know that's a big important thing for your business as well. But I want to change things, because I know that Dr. Nicholas is going to have to be heading off to surgery. So I want to talk to her. Why do you think veterinarians want to work in this kind of atmosphere? Not everything that is different from a regular vet's office.
Sure. So, I think definitely veterinarians, they kind of pick their niche, their favorite area to work in. Specifically mine, I kind of always favored surgery. So I think, a low cost spay and neuter clinic is definitely a way to, kind of keep that niche that you really love, and without going through extensive training to become like a board certified surgeon or anything like that, because all veterinarians, they can do surgery. We all go through the 8 years of schooling, and, we're all able to do surgery. But, the more specialized surgeries are usually reserved for the board certified surgeons. But, for a place like this where, we're just, doing the basics, so to speak, as far as spaying and neutering, I really think that it's definitely a way to kind of, keep that favorite, place in your heart. But also too, we do see a lot of animals, like Laura said, and, we do have a higher volume of clientele that comes through. And, being able to serve that many animals in a very efficient, very safe, a very high quality way is definitely something that veterinarians overall, strive for. And so this place allows us to be able to provide those services.
Well, it's interesting because, as I told you before we came on the air, my son was in transition, making a move, and was going to be staying with me temporarily, and brought his 4 cats, 1 a male and 3 females. Not a good thing when none of them are spayed or neutered. So we came to you guys because, frankly, 4 cats, that's quite the investment. And I just have to say how wonderful it was, and comforting for my son, especially, who is a nervous wreck with his babies, that he just felt so comfortable with you guys. I guess that's probably something that's really important for you to portray.
Absolutely. We do have a good understanding of how difficult it is. People you may have only met for a moment. So it is important to us that we treat our patients as if they were our very own pets.
Yeah. So let's talk, before we take our first break, let's talk a little bit about how someone would go about reaching out and setting an appointment or getting more information for AlterClinic.
Yeah, so we are open 5 days a week, so Monday through Friday. Our public hours are 9 to 3, so that's when our phones are on. We're responding to emails, we're answering phone calls. So those are probably the 2 most popular ways to schedule an appointment, would be either to call in, get some information, and one of our wonderful front desk staff members can go ahead and get you scheduled over the phone. We make it very easy and convenient if you don't want to talk to somebody, or maybe you don't have the time to call, or you're working during our public hours and you can't call in. You can schedule via our website. So we have people that check those and approve those online appointments as well. And then you can always email in to ask some questions too. We do our best. We're very high volume. So the amount of patients we're seeing, we get just as many emails on a daily basis. So we're going through emails and calls, as we can, which is usually same day return. You can also stop in to make an appointment in person. And then, so those are kind of the ways to schedule and the ways that we can communicate with our clients.
And what's your address? You're on Fulton Road.
Yeah, our address is 2302 Fulton Road Northwest. We're right across the street from Woody's Root Beer Stand.
Yeah, very easy to find.
And they're opening here again soon.
We can't wait, right?
Right.
I also wanted to ask Dr. Nicholas, when you talk about, when people talk about their pets, obviously it's like children. So how do they know that they're bringing their animals and they're going to be safe and that's all going to work out for them? They don't have to be afraid of it.
Sure.
So there's always a level of insecurity. You know, I feel like, you know, like how Laura was discussing, you know, people that you're only meeting for, you know, 5 minutes and then you're leaving your animal here all day with us. But every animal that comes through, you know, they get individual attention by a doctor. So they have a complete physical exam, you know, to see kind of a basis if there's any extra problems or problems that need treated or addressed. But also too, you know, during the housing of those animals, you know, we have the dog warden, you know, dogs that we spay and neuter also, and they're strays at the time technically. So they're housed, you know, physically separated, you know, from the public owned animals. Even the publicly owned animals, you know, they all have their individual runs that they're in. So they're not commingling with other animals. You know, there's physical barriers and physical separation because we always worry about disease control, you know, whenever you're talking about high volumes of animals moving through. But, you know, like I said, each animal, they do get individual attention from a doctor when they come in. You know, everything is kind of streamlined and our staff is very well trained, you know, as far as recognizing problems. You know, if something were to go astray, you know, definitely we're able to kind of get on that pretty quickly too.
So do you, go ahead. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Interrupt you, but can I just elaborate on that
Yes.
a little bit? I just wanted to make sure the public understands that all of our veterinarians are Ohio licensed veterinarians. They've had the same training that your full service vet sees. A lot of times they think, you know, sometimes people might think that we use lesser qualified veterinarians, which is not true at all. Our veterinarians are all licensed by the state of Ohio, as are our RVTs, registered vet technicians. So our staff is very qualified.
And that's important to people. They want to know that for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Do you do the spay and neutering every day of the week, or are there certain days, or how does that work?
We do spaying and neutering, yep, Monday through Friday.
Okay.
Some days we have 2 doctors, some days we only have 1 doctor, so that kind of impacts our caseload for the day. But yep, we make it as affordable and available to people as we can by offering it the 5 days a week.
All right, we're going to take our first break. And when we come back, I want to talk more about the process and, you know, what your animal will go through as it, you know, gets everything taken care of, so to speak, and all of the wonderful things that you guys do. And of course, we want to talk to Toby as well. And we will do all of that. We're going to take a break right now. It is AlterClinic Animal Care, and they do a wonderful job. If that is something that you're looking for, this is the place you need to investigate and find out more about. And we'll do that as the spotlight will continue right here on 1480 WHBC.
News Talk 1480 WHBC.
Anytime the weather gets a little crazy, get a list of all the latest school closings, delays, and cancellations. WHBC.com.
Powered by SARTA, the Stark Area Regional Transit Authority.
Get everything you need to know now at WHBC.com.
Hey, you, the basketball tournament is headed for the final weekend. How many office pools you still got a chance at? Did you pick a long shot? Just sit back and watch the games with Giannino's. Great tasting pizza, chicken and JoJo's, always fresh. Oh, and order lots of Gio bread, too. And top it off with Giannino's Buckeye wing sauce. Wings breaded, fried, and then dipped in a sweet glaze with a fiery finish. You want a piece of me? Giannino's new Carrollton location is now open at 704 Canton Road, Route 43.
Why is it more important than ever to stay informed? It's crazy. Like on social media, even on the news, you see things being touted as facts that are easily debunked. It's even more important to stay informed because you have to know what's real and what's not, what's an actual issue, what's an actual problem, what's actually happening in the world versus what some people are trying to make you think is happening. And it takes a lot more work because of all the misinformation.
Because the news never stops.
Get the facts.
And neither do we.
And go down the list here for you.
1480 WHBC and WHBC.com.
If you were to add up the amount of money you spend feeding stray cats hanging around, you could easily have paid for them to be spayed or neutered at AlterClinic Animal Care of Canton. It's the mission of AlterClinic Animal Care to offer low-cost spay and neuter services for cats and dogs throughout Stark County and beyond. The vets are graduates of various accredited veterinary universities throughout the country who have a passion for helping the ones left out in the cold. Whether it's a stray or your own pet, consider the safe, low-cost spay-neuter options at AlterClinic Animal Care in Canton.
Tune in each Saturday at 8:35 a.m. for the Money Matters radio show. Hosts Bob Foudy and David Ryan help you make your money matter. Learn how today's economy, debt levels, and policies affect your hard-earned money. You worked hard to earn that money, and now it's time to watch it grow. Tune into the Money Matters radio show every Saturday morning at 8:35 a.m. to learn how to make your money matter. To speak to Bob Foudy or Dave Ryan about your money matters, call New Horizon Financial Group in Canton at 330-499-1915.
Parents, are you tired of helping put your kids' shoes on? They're squirming, watching cartoons, anything but helping. Luckily, it's Skechers to the rescue. Introducing new hands-free Skechers slip-ins. Footwear you can just get your kids to step into and their shoes are on. You don't need to bend over. You don't need to sit on the floor and try to wrangle them on. And they're available in all types of Skechers styles with and without laces, and most are machine washable. Find Skechers slip-ins for kids or mom and dad at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish shoes are sold.
I'd rather ride a bike with my kids
Faster!
than ride in an ambulance.
I'd rather have a catch with my dog Curtis than catch pneumococcal pneumonia.
If you're 19 or older with certain chronic conditions like heart disease, asthma, or diabetes, you may be at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20 pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Learn more at Prevnar20.com. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
If you own a small business, you've probably been hearing a lot about the ERC, how it's worth up to $26,000 per employee, how easy it is, you know the spiel. So why am I still talking to you about it now? Because many of you still haven't filed a claim, but Innovation Refunds can help you close the book on this thing. They're backed by one of those big CPA firms the corporations use, so they can determine once and for all if your business qualifies. And it's free to find out. Go to innovationrefunds.com. That's innovationrefunds.com.
Now back to Spotlight on 1480 WHBC.
And welcome back to Spotlight here on 1480 WHBC. Our Spotlight today is AlterClinic, an affordable spay-neuter clinic right here in Canton. And if you have said, what? I had no idea. That's exactly why we're doing this Spotlight, because it's a very important place. And we've got some folks with us today. I want to reintroduce everyone. We have Laura Groth, who is the founder of AlterClinic Animal Care. We also have Jennifer Conley, who is the practice manager. I do believe that Dr. Nicholas probably had to go to surgery. So, and we thank her for filling us in on everything. And now we also have joining us Toby Franks, who is a feral cat advocate and expert on trap, neuter, and release. That's TNR, as we call it. And I'm glad to have everybody with us today. I know this is something, there are so many people out there who I know would love to be able to utilize your services, but maybe just didn't realize that you were there. For folks who are just tuning in again, Laura, let's just explain what AlterClinic is and how you got started in this business.
AlterClinic is, well, good morning, everybody, if you're just joining us, but AlterClinic is a low-cost or affordable spay and neuter clinic. We're a nonprofit. We started in October of 2018. At that time, we were doing 12 to 15 surgeries 2 days a week. We've currently are now open 5 days a week. We're doing between 50 and 70 surgeries a day on both cats and dogs, as well as cats, TNR cats or trapped cats, cats with no owners.
Okay. Wow. That seems like such a lot, but talk about for the person who is going to bring their animal, they're going to bring their cat, their dog. What kind of things should they know? What do they have? How do they plan? What do they do besides make that appointment?
Well, they give us a call, they make an appointment, we give them all the instructions that they need. Essentially, they bring their cat to us at the designated time, either here at the clinic or on one of our transport vehicles that we run to other counties. And bring their animals to us, no food after midnight, those kind of things. They'll get those instructions when they make the appointment. And they basically just have to drop them off and pick them up.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we did. I had mentioned earlier about my son's 4 cats visiting your place, and it was a great experience. It was again very comforting for people who are nervous about maybe what's going to happen, or even having their cat put under for some kind of surgery. That I would imagine people would get nervous about that.
Absolutely. There is risk with anesthesia, just as there is in the human world of medicine. There's always some element of risk when it comes to any type of surgery. We do everything we can to avoid such problems, but sometimes there are things that we're just not aware of, or maybe the owner may not be aware of either, that causes some sort of issue. But know that we are a very highly equipped place. We have all the safety measures in place to do the best we can and keep everybody safe while they're here.
And if you, by the way, we are live on our Facebook page as well and on our YouTube channel. Just follow us on Facebook at 1480 WHBC, and you can go to the YouTube channel anytime and watch the video. After today that you want to. But right now, if you're watching us live or watching the video, you are seeing some video of inside the clinic itself, and talk about, the safety and the cleanliness and all of those things, because I think that's also very important to people.
You want to take that, Jennifer?
Sure. So as far as cleanliness goes, all of the shorelines, so they're all stainless steel. They get cleaned in between every single patient. So, that you're not going to get any cross contamination from, the last cat that was in that shoreline kennel to the next one. Kennels are cleaned multiple times, at the end of every day. And then, if the animal makes a mess throughout the day, they're quickly attended to and cleaned up as well. As far as safety goes, like Laura had mentioned earlier, there are physical barriers between every single animal. So no animal is coming nose-to-nose contact with another animal, and we also, like she mentioned earlier, see dog warden dogs who are, strays. We don't know their medical history, and they're housed in a completely separate room in our clinic. They have no contact whatsoever. They're not even in the same room with, owned dogs. So you don't need to worry about them like transmitting something to one of yours.
That's true of our TNR room also.
Yes.
They're in a completely separate part of the building.
Yep.
Because we don't know their medical history.
Right. Okay. And I would imagine as we were watching the video, I saw the washers and dryers. You probably do a lot of laundry.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We run through towels and blankets like crazy. We probably wash upwards of 20 loads of laundry a day. So, all dogs have a blanket. And again, if they make a mess, that's cleaned up right away. They get a new blanket. Cats get towels. Same thing. If they make a mess, it's cleaned up right away. So it's a lot of blankets, towels being washed. And then we also have our surgical laundry. So our packs and our drapes, everything that helps keep it sterile in the surgical suite, and those get washed separately. So, there's no hair, there's nothing that could be coming from, the kenneling laundry going into surgical laundry as well.
And I would have to ask you, Jennifer, I would imagine that you are an animal lover as well.
Oh, absolutely. I've got 4 of my own.
See there? Okay. Well, that's, I love it. And again, I think is such a wonderful service that you guys do. And I'm so happy that we're putting this out there, because so many people need to know that your service is available. It's really, really important. But we're going to take our break for the news right now. And when we come back, we're going to talk to Toby. We want to find out more. Toby Franks, who is a feral cat advocate and an expert on trap, neuter, release. I am very interested to find out more about this and all the things that go into it. So we will do that after we break for the news, and I hope that you'll stay tuned. More on AlterClinic right here on 1480 WHBC.
It's Jordan Miller.
Crime continues to happen right here in the city of Canton. It feels as though, as local residents, we're just becoming immune to it. And I asked this question, and it's a stupid question for me to ask, but I'm going to do it again. Why do we resort to violence? Why do people just want to, instead of throwing fists, they want to throw bullets?
Live and local, 10 to noon, Monday through Friday on 1480 WHBC.
It easy to upgrade your kitchen affordably. Process is so simple. All you have to do is basically make an appointment, and they do the rest. And get this, the appointment and design are free with no obligation. Northeast Factory Direct buys in volume, and they pass the savings on to you. They really have the best quality at the best price at Northeast Factory Direct. Locations at 140th in Cleveland, Lakeland Boulevard, Euclid, Freeway Drive in Macedonia, and now the newest location, 8100 North Cleveland Avenue in North Canton.
In 7 years, one female cat and her babies can have a staggering 370,000 kittens, and you thought you were busy. AlterClinic Animal Care helps reduce the stray cat population humanely with their low-cost spay-neuter service. For a very modest fee, AlterClinic Animal Care will spay or neuter a stray that you catch. Then you can return that cat to the same place you caught him for a healthier, safer life. That way, the only stray cats you know are the ones you hear on the radio. AlterClinic Animal Care, 24th and Fulton Road, Northwest in Canton.
Keep your water softener running smoothly with ProPix DuraCube Softener Salt from Ferndale Water Experts. Stock up now on premium DuraCube salt and take advantage of our buy 10, get 1 free special. Call Ferndale Water Experts today.
Ferndale's Water Center.
WHBC AM Canton, reliable as ever on News Talk 1480 WHBC.
From the News Talk 1480 WHBC newsroom, the death penalty could be abolished in Ohio under upcoming bipartisan legislation announced yesterday, the latest in what's been years of efforts to end capital punishment. The Ohio Prosecuting Attorneys Association says the bill would cut the state's worst criminals a break. Currently, Ohio has an unofficial moratorium on capital punishment after Governor Mike DeWine instructed lawmakers to find an alternative method to lethal injection, citing the state's inability to obtain the needed drugs. The state's last execution was back in 2018. Federal Judge James Boasberg ruling that former Vice President Mike Pence must testify under oath before a grand jury investigating former President Donald Trump's alleged attempts to overturn the 2020 election results. Pence has argued that he's shielded from having to testify by the Constitution because of his position at the time as part of the legislative branch. The judge ruled against that. Pence has not said whether he will take it to the U.S. Supreme Court, but he says eventually he will honor what the court has decided. Well, one man seems to have found a way to lose weight at the drive-thru. Kevin McGinnis has set himself a weight loss challenge of eating nothing but McDonald's food for 100 days. And after 34 days, he's lost almost 30 pounds. His progress is impressive enough that his wife is going to join him in the challenge the rest of the way. And he says she's hoping to lose about 50 pounds by the end of that challenge. In sports, the Cleveland Cavaliers got a historic effort from Donovan Mitchell. Mitchell joined the 10,000-point club and became the fastest player in NBA history to reach 10,000 career points and 1,000 career three-pointers made. It was his 410th career game for the 6-year veteran. The Cavaliers lost to the Atlanta Hawks 120-118. For News Talk 1480 WHBC, I'm Pam Cook.
Your severe weather station, News Talk 1480 WHBC.
Here's your AccuWeather forecast. Sun and clouds, a breezy afternoon. Showers could be mixed with some snow, high 53. Rain or snow showers early this evening, otherwise clearing and cold tonight, low 22. Sunny to partly cloudy for tomorrow, the high 50. Clouds and breezy, a few showers around Friday morning. That'll be followed by an afternoon thunderstorm, the high on Friday at 59. Plan with confidence. Check with AccuWeather.com often. Download the app today. I'm Steve Williams for News Talk 1480 WHBC.
Now back to Spotlight on 1480 WHBC.
And welcome back to Spotlight on this Wednesday morning. And again, obviously listening on the radio, but you can also check us out on our Facebook page. We are live on Facebook right now, and also on our YouTube channel. You'll find us News Talk 1480 WHBC. And today, our spotlight is with AlterClinic. And I got to tell you, the more I learn, the more wonderful work that I know these folks do. I've seen it firsthand. I can attest to everything that they're talking about, and it's been a wonderful experience. If you are in need of that kind of service for your animal, spay or neuter, you need to reach out to them. And again, I'm going to reintroduce everybody because we're kind of switching things around. But if you are just joining us this morning, we have Laura Groves, who is the founder of AlterClinic Animal Care. And also we have Jennifer Conley, who is the practice manager. And we have now with us Toby Franks, who is a feral cat advocate and an expert on TNR, which is trap, neuter, release. And I want to start with Toby. Toby, talk to me a little bit about the feral cat population in this area. Is it an issue?
Yeah, for sure it is. And, the kitten area isn't unique, really. There are as many outdoor cats, unowned, unmanaged cats living outdoors as there are owned cats living in homes, pets or companions, and that's all over the country. And in some parts of the country, like New York City, there are more outdoor cats than there are owned cats. So it is an issue. And, whether you love cats or hate cats, we all want the same thing. We want less cats living outdoors. And really the best way, the most humane way, and the most effective way to do that is through TNR, trap, neuter, return.
All right. Talk about how you got involved in this and why this is important to you.
Wow, this goes back probably 20 years or so. There are a lot more resources now, thankfully, thanks to Laura in this area. It's just been tremendous. But 20 years ago or so, it was a very hard uphill battle, and very hard to come by resources. And I just noticed a group of cats living by some dumpsters, and I knew something had to be done. I wasn't sure what could be done. I had found homes for the friendly ones. I had found homes for litters of kittens that were born, but there were cats there that, they would run away from me, and I didn't, what can we do for them? They're not comfortable living in a home. So I borrowed a humane box trap. I began trapping those cats one at a time, taking them to my local veterinarian. And they were just wonderful working with me and helping me out. And that's kind of how I got started. And, going on 20 years later, here we are, these great resources that are available to everybody now.
And tell everyone how that's part of AlterClinic, the TNR.
Well, TNR, it stands for trap, neuter, return. And the cats are humanely trapped. We use box traps. The cat walks in and the door closes behind him, basically. The cats are humanely trapped because they can't be handled. They're not good candidates for adoption, and we want them to be safe, and we want people to be safe. So a humane box trap is used to trap these cats. They're brought into the clinic on specific days and times. There's no real appointment required, but it's good to check with the clinic to make sure that those spots are available. The cats are brought in. Again, they're in their trap for the duration. They're sedated in their traps. They come out, they have their surgeries performed. The vaccines are on board. And there's also an ear tip, which is the tip of the left ear is removed. So that identifies the cat as an outdoor living cat who is managed, who is spayed or neutered, no longer part of the breeding population, and has also been rabies vaccinated. So once those cats are recovered, they're awake, the person who brought the cat into the clinic picks them up in the trap that they came in, and then the cat is returned to their outdoor home. So no new kittens are born. Nuisance behaviors like scent marking, fighting, yowling, all associated with mating, all of those behaviors are greatly diminished or go away altogether. So it stabilizes the population.
That's awesome. How many cats do you think that AlterClinic sees that for trap, neuter, and return?
I would defer to
Yeah, so our TNR program, to expand on what Toby said earlier, obviously you don't know when you're going to trap a cat. So it makes it very hard to do appointments with that. So we are open for TNRs Monday through Thursday. Monday through Wednesday, you can drop off anytime between 7:30 a.m. and 3 o'clock p.m. No appointment needed. And then Thursdays, you can drop off 7:30 a.m. to noon, up to 40 cats. So ideally, at full capacity, we would be seeing 40 TNR cats all 4 days of the week that the TNR program is open, which would be about 160 cats per week. We publish all of our numbers on Facebook every week. And right now, it's winter. People aren't really trapping. We're averaging somewhere between like 40 to 50 cats per week right now. But we expect that to increase here in the spring and the summer when, kitten season starts and people are able to be out and trapping more.
Toby, how have you seen this program affect this community? How much has it helped?
I think it's helped a lot. I've been involved in a lot of large projects all over Northeast Ohio, but here in the Canton area, there have been a lot of good, positive experiences. Skyline Terrace was a larger project that I did working with, the community. The property management group reached out to me. They wanted to address their cat situation there in a humane way and in an effective way. So I spent a summer there, trapped probably 80 cats. A lot of friendly cats were able to go into adoption. Litters of kittens also were removed and they were all adopted. But the healthy adult feral cats were returned. So that was a good outcome especially for the cats, but also for the community. Ward 5 is another good example here in the city. Rob Fisher, Ward City Councilman, he and I worked together on a couple of issues that he had in his ward, and just a really good positive outcome there. I would ask other city council people to kind of follow his lead because that was just really a good outcome for not just the cats, but also the people in Ward 5. So a lot of positive outcomes there. A lot of cats spayed and neutered, a lot of nuisance behaviors reduced or eliminated. And just like I say, we're just intervening in the lives of those cats for a couple of days. Want to stabilize that population, prevent new litters of kittens from being born, and to just help with help people and the cats in the community get along better.
Yeah, and I would imagine that doing that for the cats probably makes it a healthier existence for them and probably a more comfortable existence, I would imagine.
Absolutely. The pressures related with mating, once the cats are spayed or neutered, it's basically this simple. When that boy cat gets neutered, he's no longer scent marking. He's no longer out roaming looking for girl cats. When that girl cat is spayed, she's no longer having litters of kittens. And that's just a tremendous burden on that girl cat, living outdoors and having litter after litter after litter. It's very hard on her physically, and it's just it's not a good situation. So we want to try to help her with that and help as many cats like her with that. And also the cats are vaccinated, so just long term, it's just a healthier, better experience for their lives.
So if someone is listening right now, they want to join your effort, they want to help out, how do they go about doing that?
There's a lot of ways people can help. The most important thing, the thing that I encourage people to do, if you are feeding a cat on your back porch or there's a group of cats that you're taking care of somewhere, take that next step. Get them into the clinic. Go on the clinic's website, follow the instructions on how to do it. Get a humane box trap or 2 or 3. You can borrow them. I have them for loan myself. Get those cats trapped, get them into the clinic for their surgeries. And that's really the best gift that you can give them. You're giving them a life free from the burden of reproduction.
And the cost for that, I'm sure people are wondering, well, what do I have to pay if I bring in a feral cat?
Well, we did this, I did this sort of research thing at the end of last year, and we did discover that the biggest barrier for spaying and neutering TNR cats seems to be the cost. And although we keep it as low as we can, I think you can get, it's $38 and $44 right now. We have 2 different packages available here. For $38, you can get the animal spay or neutered vaccines. It's rabies vaccine, the ear tip, a flea treatment, and they can stay one night at the clinic for recovery. For $44, you get those same items, plus an FVRCP or a distemper vaccine for that cat. So it's a pretty good package. It is at cost, pretty close to at our cost. But the research that I did shown that it is the biggest barrier is funding. And we did 600 cats in December, very nearly 600 TNR cats, because we were doing it at no cost. Okay.
Yeah.
The month before we had reduced the cost and there weren't as many. So it to us comes down to funding. People will get up and they will participate, but it's often difficult for them to find the funding. So we're doing whatever we can to fundraise for our TNR program. It would be a dream of mine to be able to make TNR no cost all year long. But for that, we need a specific amount of money to stay in business.
Well, I would imagine people out there listening right now may say they would be interested in making a donation to help that happen.
That would be wonderful. They can do that right here at the clinic. They can do that at our resale store that we have over on 9th Street here in Canton. They can make donations to our TNR program at either one of those places.
I know that a neighbor in my neighborhood, some neighbors got together and chipped in money, to be able to take the cats. And those cats are now, prancing around the yard. They know there's 4 of mine in the house probably, but
we do know of neighborhoods that have gotten together as a neighborhood and made the decision to trap out their neighborhood. And they've come together, and maybe someone can't contribute as much money, but they can trap a cat and transport it. Maybe there are those who are willing to pay but are unable to trap or unable to transport. So communities have been getting together and working toward getting the cats taken care of in their own neighborhoods.
Yeah, that's a great thought. All right, we're going to take our final break. And when we come back, we'll kind of review everything that we have been talking about this morning. AlterClinic for routine veterinary care? No, not so much. That's not what they do. It's an important thing that they do. And we'll talk more about that as we return right here on 1480 WHBC.
High school sports. This is the right place. News Talk 1480, WHBC.
Hi, JT for Northeast Factory Direct, where they've made it easy to upgrade your kitchen affordably. Process is so simple. All you have to do is basically make an appointment, and they do the rest. And get this, the appointment and design are free with no obligation. Northeast Factory Direct buys in volume, and they pass the savings on to you. They really have the best quality at the best price at Northeast Factory Direct. Locations at 140th in Cleveland, Lakeland Boulevard, Euclid, Freeway Drive in Macedonia, and now the newest location, 8100 North Cleveland Avenue in North Canton.
Whether you are a lifelong churchgoer or this is your first experience into a faith community, Christ Presbyterian Church invites you to join them for a very special worship hour each and every Sunday on 1480 WHBC. Christ Presbyterian has served the community of Canton for more than 200 years as a beacon of hope to the hopeless, pointing toward Jesus, who is the way, the truth, and the life. Be sure to tune in every Sunday morning at 10:30 for the Cathedral Hour, live from Christ Presbyterian Church in downtown Canton on 1480 WHBC.
Do you have a home improvement or DIY project that is not going so well, over budget, and running out of time? We know how it is. This is Dave Dolan, Retail Lending Manager with the Commercial and Savings Bank, and a home equity line of credit may be right for you. Let us help make your plans a reality and turn that do-it-yourself into a do-it-with-us. Save time and apply online at csb1.com. That's csb1.com. The Commercial and Savings Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
How would you like to do what you love while someone else foots the bill? Yes, you heard that right. Here at the Ohio Means Job Centers in Stark and Tuscarawas counties, we will cover the cost for you to go through training. We can fund programs such as LPN training, CDL, welding, CNC machining, and more. Join us for our orientation sessions to take advantage of this amazing opportunity. To learn more or to see the upcoming schedule, you can visit our website at omjwork.com/training.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If you were to add up the amount of money you spend feeding stray cats hanging around, you could easily have paid for them to be spayed or neutered at AlterClinic Animal Care of Canton. It's the mission of AlterClinic Animal Care to offer low-cost spay and neuter services for cats and dogs throughout Stark County and beyond. The vets are graduates of various accredited veterinary universities throughout the country who have a passion for helping the ones left out in the cold. Whether it's a stray or your own pet, consider the safe, low-cost spay-neuter options at AlterClinic Animal Care in Canton.
Now back to Spotlight on 1480 WHBC.
And again, it is the Spotlight on 1480 WHBC. I'm Pam Cook with you this morning, talking AlterClinic Animal Care on Fulton, right across from Woody's root beer stand. And that's a great landmark to tell folks.
That it is.
I think I drove past there a million times before. We brought our family of cats there and just didn't even really think about it, So that's why I think it's such a good idea that we're doing this today, because there are so many folks like us who are out there looking for somebody like you to help them. And I just, like I say, I think it's great work that you do. And again, I want you to, Laura, and this is the director, Laura Groves.
Yes.
Explain how you came about doing this.
Okay, so you would like the backstory before we had.
We'll repeat that again. Yeah.
Well, like I said, I kind of had a crossroads or fork in the road to travel down, and I was without work at that time, and I was seeking and searching something to fulfill my day and time, and I had a good friend who I couldn't figure out what I wanted to do, and I had a good friend who asked me a question. She said, "What did you do when you were a child? What did you play when you were a child?" And I said, "Well, I always played veterinarian." And my brother and I did. We built zoos in our backyard and bandaged up every barn cat that we could catch. So she said, "Well, that's the kind of work you want to get into. That's what you love to do." And I'm like, she's right. And I looked back at all the jobs I had, and I realized that every job that I had was preparing me for this moment. And did some further research and discovered that the ASPCA had grant money available for medical equipment for such clinics, and started that grant writing process, and basically took all of our money out of our house and bought a building, and here we are. So that's kind of how we got started.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's absolutely awesome. I also, Jennifer, can you kind of go over the process again for folks? I mean, if they are just tuning in and they know they have an animal or someone they know really needs to bring someone in, like what's the process? How long are they going to be away from their animal? What are those kinds of things that they're going to have to deal with?
Yeah, absolutely. So to schedule an appointment, you can either go to our website or you can give us a call and we can get that scheduled for you as well. As far as the process goes on the day of surgery, we start our cat admission at 7:30 a.m. So all the cats come in, we get them all checked in, taken back. Dogs come in at 8. And that process, since dogs are not, in a carrier already, being separated from the other dogs, we only bring them in one at a time. So the whole process for dogs in the morning, it can take up to 40 minutes just because we bring them in one at a time. But then they get dropped off, they get their exam with our veterinarians, and then we start our surgical day. Dogs go home at 3:30 and cats go home at 4:30. So they're away from home for most of the day, but they're being taken care of by our amazing staff. And like Laura said earlier, we really try to care for them as if they were our own. We'll be taking them out of their kennels throughout the day to check on them, give them snuggles if they're tolerating it and stuff like that. So just know that while your animal is here, it's true animal lovers who are looking after them.
Yeah, and right now we're seeing on the video the inside of where the animals go, and all wonderfully clean and taken care of, and very safe. I would remind people again, and you can too, that it's a very safe situation for them.
That is correct. We have top of the line equipment for monitoring and anesthesia. Our instruments are industry standard. So yes, we take all kinds of precautions to keep your animals safe while they're here.
Mm-hmm. And also we want to make it clear that, this is for, the average person who has a cat or a dog and they need this service. But there is also the trap neuter return program, the TNR, and Toby Franks. Toby, one more time, tell people how they can help or what they need to do if they want to get involved in that.
Well, with TNR, trap neuter return, the cats are humanely trapped. They're brought into the clinic for their surgeries, and then they're returned to their outdoor home. They're not relocated or, the idea is these are healthy adult feral cats that are not good candidates for adoption. So the best option for them, the best outcome for them is to be spayed, neutered, vaccinated, ear-tipped for identification, and then returned to their outdoor home. People like myself do large projects, large numbers, but one person can't do everything, but every person can do one thing. And if you're feeding a couple of cats on your back porch, or you're feeding a group of cats somewhere, please take that next step. Go to the website, look at the instructions for TNR on the AlterClinic website. Trap those cats, bring them in for their surgeries.
And maybe you can give us the website and phone number where folks can get in touch with you guys.
Yes, our phone number can be found pretty much anywhere, but it is 234-804-3064. And our website is www.altercareac.com.
And Jennifer and Laura and Toby, I have to say thank you so much for coming on today. I also have to say, on behalf of Leo and Rosie and Nikki and Cardi in my family, they were so very happy to be at your facility, and it just worked out wonderfully. And if anybody's looking to take care of their animals in the right way, this is, whether it be your animal or a feral cat, this is the perfect place for you to go. AlterClinic Animal Care on Fulton Road. Thank you guys so much for coming on.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
It's Kenny and JT.
We'll get you one day closer to another